we want to bring the Bible to social media. We want to read the Bible for social media because we know it's so easy to wake up and just hit the Facebook app or the Instagram app or the Snapchat app. So yeah, we wanted to read Proverbs 16.
Yeah, Proverbs 16. I wanted to real quick just show you, just kind of show off this cool little this Proverbs book.
The TikTok shop.
Yeah, talk about it. What happened? How'd you get this book?
I got it for free from the TikTok shop.
You got it for free. Yeah, you just made like a little TikTok advertisement thing.
And they gave it to me.
Yeah, it's got like pictures in there, and I believe it's NIV translation. It's yeah, it's really cool. So we're gonna start with the first 10 verses, and we're just gonna.
Is this NIV too?
Kind of talk about it. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
So we're in Proverbs chapter 16.
Okay.
Chloe's got a nice reading
guys.
voice.
I'm blind. I have glasses. To humans belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue. All a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. The Lord works out everything to its proper end, even the wicked for a day of disaster. The Lord detests all the proud of heart, but be sure of this, they will not go unpunished. Through love and faithfulness, sin is atoned for. Through the fear of the Lord, evil is avoided. When the wicked takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them. Better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice.
Can you reread verse 7?
Yeah. When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them.
Okay.
Oh, did you want to say something about that?
No, I just think you might have misread it the first time I wanted to.
Oh. Better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. The lips of a king speak as an oracle, and his mouth does not betray justice.
Yeah. Is there anything that stood out to you? Sorry, I'm kind of distracted for a second. I'm on a mission. Is there any verse that like
stood out to me?
Yeah.
The one that stood out to me is what was I thinking of? To humans, the first one where it says to humans belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue. Because we always want to go our own way and do our own things. Even if it, like, I feel like our human flesh wants to do things that go against God. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I just realized that this is NLT, by the way.
Oh, I was
thought
about to say, because I was like, are these like the same?
No, it's not exactly the same.
Oh, I was okay. Oh, is that why you made me reread it? Because it wasn't.
Kind of. No.
It wasn't.
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about verse 1, right?
Yeah.
Mine says we can make our own plans, but the Lord gives the right answer.
Yeah. Well, like at the end of the day, it's God's will that prevails, right?
Yeah. Not that we shouldn't make our own plans, because we absolutely should. And, how we make our plans should be in alignment with God's word, for sure. But even, his ways are so far above our ways that, we think we plan something nice, but the reality is that,
yeah,
he gives the right answer.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, because on verse 2, it says, all a person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Do you think there's any way where, like, any time in your life where you're, like, scrolling through social media and you just want to write something or comment on something, but, like, that your motive was not, like, a good motive, like, your motive was off?
Especially lately, that's kind of, like, every time I open it, so I just stopped opening it. But yeah, for sure, people... people don't agree with you. People say some just straight up evil, wicked, nasty stuff, and you want to be like, hey, knock it off. But I really have to examine my own heart. Be like, is this productive? Is this... Cause not to say that you can't correct people in person or online, but if you're going to correct a stranger, I think you really have to make sure that your heart is in the right place and that you're doing it in a way that is productive.
Yeah, like you want to make sure that you're not doing it to attack them or to harm them. Like you want to make sure that your motive is motivated by love for them. Yeah. Like this is why I'm doing this, because I love this person, not because I'm going to put them in their place right now. Like not that. That's not a good motive. But yeah.
This one looks like the prosperity gospel. People jump all over this one. Commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed.
Yeah.
I think that's more of, it's not to say if I start a business, it's going to be $1 billion business if, Yeah, I think it just means like whatever you're doing, if you focus on God and commit to God, then things are generally gonna work out for the best, right?
Yeah, that's usually
Kind of it.
generally.
You have to remember verse 1 though, is that we make our own plans, but the Lord gives the right answer. Like you can think that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing, but you just never know, you know.
Mm-hmm. So I was commit to the Lord, whatever I do, and He will establish your plans. Yeah, when I think about that verse, I think about when you're focused on doing what's right, like when you're focused on walking in the Lord, like not in your own way, but the Lord's way. Then your plans will probably be like according to His. Like you want to do what's right in the eyes of the Lord. So, so He establishes those plans because your heart is aligned to doing what's right for Him. So your plans are pretty much that. I don't know if I explained it well.
No, I think you did. I think it reminds me of, I believe it's in Matthew, where it says, if you ask for anything in my name, Jesus saying this, that you will receive.
Yeah.
But it's also, you have to take it with the fact that like you have to ask for things that are in accordance with God's will. Because if you're asking based on selfish motives, like in the book of James will tell you like that's why you don't get what you ask for. It's because you either haven't asked or you have selfish motives. Like you have to get your will in line with God's will in order to get exactly what you're asking for. You can't be selfish. What's the next one, Chloe?
So the verse 4, right? Or are we on 5?
Either one.
Okay, so verse 4 says, the Lord works out everything to its proper end, even the wicked for a day of disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one of those things that we have to remember too, like when we get angry at all the evil happening, like we're just like, when is this going to end? Like when are they going to be put in their place? Because a lot of the times it's very discouraging when you feel like you're doing what's right and you feel like you're suffering, but then the people who are doing what's evil and wrong in the eyes of the Lord, it seems like they're prospering. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, but then you have to remember that like they might be prospering on earth, but that's all they're going to be prospering on. Because we all die one day, and we're all going to meet our Maker, so...
Yeah, and that promise of, for the Christian, that promise of salvation, the promise of heaven, is, that's amazing. That's great. There's also a promise of justice.
Yeah,
And it's kind of a sobering reality.
Yeah, it is.
For the people who don't believe, and for the people who just choose wickedness over the light, it's like there is a promise of justice for that. So.
Yeah.
It's very sobering, but it's also very encouraging if you look at it from that perspective.
So, verse 5, 6, okay.
Oh, go 5, yeah, sorry.
I think we skipped one, yeah. So verse 5 says, the Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not go unpunished.
Yeah, it almost seems like, verse 4 just spoken slightly differently. The Lord detests the proud. They will surely be punished.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what yours says, because you have the other... Okay.
Yeah, New Living Translation.
Okay, I have the NIV. Just letting them know.
Yeah. We could talk about translations and why they're different, but we don't really have to get into all that right now. But anyway, yeah, the Lord detests the proud. Like, pride is serious. Like, pride is a very, very, very big deal. And it's hard. Like, we're all proud. And, it's like a daily battle for me. It's like, how do I let this go, I feel like I'm always praying for that. Just like to take this pride from me, help me to see things for how I should see them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pride is hard.
Yeah, it makes you an
we
enemy
all
of
struggle
God.
with that.
So, unfailing love and faithfulness make atonement for sin. Reminds me of the verse that says, for love covers a multitude of sins. I believe it's in 1st or 2nd Peter, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's really all about love, right? You just gotta, Jesus asked what the most important commandment was, and he says, love God, and the second is the first one, and the second one is, equally important, is to love your neighbor as yourself, and those two are both dealing with love, like the commandments. about a law, a command, and he's not love. What do you got?
Oh, I was going to ask what your 7 says in your version.
7.
Yeah.
When people's lives please the Lord, even their enemies are at peace with them.
Interesting, okay. I was wondering how differently it was worded, because mine says when the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them. Okay. Yeah. I've always liked you have an NLT, I think mine's NIV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the NLT version.
Yeah, the NLT is more like thought for thought kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have like the the ESV, which is more like word for word. Sometimes harder to understand because Greek sentence structure is different than English, but the NIV tries to like find a middle ground there, and I think that the New Living Translation is easy to understand, but it's also stepping a little further away from the word for word than a lot of people are comfortable with, but they essentially all say the exact same thing. So there's that. Verse 8, this one's nice. Better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest.
Mm-hmm.
Saying like, kind of reminds me of it's better to eat vegetables with I don't want to misquote it. I'm not going to say that. We'll stick to the one that this is. It reminded me of a different proverb, but I don't want to misquote it.
Yeah.
I don't remember it exactly. But yeah, what do you think about that one?
Mine says better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice. It's like worded so much differently. Well, not so much, but wait, can you read yours again?
7?
You're 8.
8.
Yeah.
Better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest.
That is so interesting because mine doesn't talk about dishonest. Wow. Okay, better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice.
Yeah, it's pretty much saying that like
Yeah.
it's better to like, how do I word this? It's better to live in a way that pleases God and have less worldly things like money, food, or fame, or whatever, than it is than to be rich with all this food and all these like followers or fame or whatever, and to not have God, because that's not at all what you want. That goes back up to 4 and 5 about how the Lord detests the proud and has made everything in his own purpose, or for his own purpose, even the wicked for disaster. It's like, if it's better to not have worldly things and to have God than to not have God and to have worldly things, for sure.
Yeah. 9. Did you want to or me?
Yeah, verse 9. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. Why don't you read verse 1? I'll read 9. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. What does verse 1 say for you?
Well, 1 says, to humans belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue.
Proper answer of the tongue.
Yeah, interesting wording.
So it's a little different. It's a similar concept that was like, we can try to think how our day, our hour, our week, or our life is going to go, but it's really all up to God.
Yeah. That was, you read 9, right?
Yeah, I read 9.
Okay, just making sure.
What do you got for 10?
10 says, the lips of a king speak as an oracle, and the mouth does not betray justice.
The king speaks with divine wisdom. He must never judge unfairly.
See, I love the NLT because I feel like my brain can understand NLT the most, because NIV is very interesting with the wording. Sometimes I think I know what it's saying, but I'm just like, wait, like I have to read it over and over again. It's just the wording in NIV is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what oracle is. But then when you read yours, like
it says divine wisdom.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, so a good example of that, like the second part, mine says he must never judge unfairly. Pretty easy to understand. Over here it says, and his mouth does not betray justice. Now those two things, they mean the same thing. It's just that one sentence is easier to understand than the other.
Yeah. That was number 10.
That was number 10. He must never judge unfairly. Yeah, so that's the first 10 verses of Proverbs chapter 16. Go and get yourself this book. It's pretty cool.
And read the Bible.
Yes, please do that.